Hey Dom, this is David Aside. Today I want to get into the last day of the PTD concert. Why it was super emotional, as people think this could be BTS's last tour or last album that will come out. I also want to get into a cute moment with V and Jin. So, hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. And let's get into it. The first thing that I wanted to get into is this cute moment with V and Jin. It's cute if you think of it kind of objectively, but it's kind of sad if you think of it more deeply. So something BTS likes to do, it's not exclusive to them, but a lot of celebrities don't do it nearly as much, is they'll take a moment to talk to their audience during the concert, in between songs, and even towards the end of the concert, so that they can connect with the armies that are there, but also we can feel more connected to them and know what is going on with them. It's hard to know how scripted these are, as these concert moments are typically rehearsed, but they seem supernatural and real, so I doubt they are rehearsed in this case. Jin took center stage and talked about how he felt recently. Just a little backstory to make sense of what he said. Since Jin just got his surgery, the doctors advised him to take a break, and it was even released in a HYBE statement that Jin won't be dancing in the concert, just singing. So he was on a chair the entire time with the microphone, and he just added his parts while everyone else was dancing. This, if you don't really think too much about it, isn't a big deal, but Jin played quite a big part in Butter and several other songs, and I mean choreography wise. It's one thing if the majority of Jin's dancing parts were kind of more on the back end. Let's say J-Hope and Jungkook were leading and Jin was following along in the back. But Jin actually had a lot of lead roles, which meant they had to redo and remake some of the choreography to make it look full without Jin in it. There was even a moment where Jungkook messed up because he was supposed to take Jin's part in the making of the mirror in the Butter choreography, and he forgot to do it. He just did his old choreography. Dude, this part was so funny. I watched the clip like 90 times, seeing Suga and Jimin's reaction to Jungkook messing up. Honestly, they seemed like they were having a fun time anyway, and it's totally okay, baby. We still love you. And back to what Jin was talking about, as you can imagine, just someone watching this and maybe even watching during rehearsal and seeing that everyone needed to change everything because he couldn't do his part, he must have felt like he was a burden to the team. In his speech, he literally said that. When Taeyang got a hold of this, he immediately put on his hat. I don't know, maybe this was his talking to Jin hat. No one can talk to Jin unless they wear that hat. I need to get a hat apparently. I'm joking. But Taeyang got up and wanted to reassure and make it clear that Jin was not a burden, and verbally said that very loud. You are not a burden, okay? I think this is so important for friends to do because I can only imagine that Jin is not only upset, but feeling quite depressed that he and the rest of the members have waited so long to perform, but he can't do it now. But also feeling like it was his mistake, like how he injured his finger ended up being everyone else's problem too. It's one thing if it just affects him, right? But I think it's so important to reassure your friends, especially if they tell you that they're feeling down or inadequate. It's moments like this that you know who your real friends are, because they will never let you feel like that after you've made it clear that you don't feel good. And if they do, cut them off and find new friends. You will find someone new, I promise. And if you don't find someone right away, I'm here and would never say you're not enough. And also in times where Jin may feel like he's not enough, what else is there to say? Keep telling Jin he's not enough, he already thinks that. So there's no point in beating him down to be like, why can't you perform? It just doesn't solve anything. Beating him down isn't going to suddenly heal his finger faster. And also personally, beating yourself down doesn't help that either. Saying that I'm a burden doesn't get you to quote unquote unburden yourself faster. It's sad to hear that he thinks this, and it honestly doesn't solve anything, but just end up getting more depressed. The last day of the PTD concert in Vegas was quite eventful. I personally would have loved to be there, but there were so many clips online on Twitter, don't tell HYBE this, that you can just watch the clips and you'll pretty much feel like you were there anyway. I mean, every performance is probably posted and every speech is somewhere online. When they ended the concert and said their goodbyes, since this was their last PTD concert in Vegas, they got a bit emotional, and you can tell that the members were very emotional. Jin even teared up, and it was just a lot. Jimin and RM even took their emotions to the next level to even fully bow down when saying goodbye, like on the ground, to thank ARMY for coming out. And RM even talked about how much all the members meant to him and asked them for a hug, and it sounded like he was tearing up, his voice was cracking. It was enough to make a grown man cry. And I don't mean make me cry. I cry when a leaf touches me. This is not what a grown man looks like. But other manly men, they'll cry seeing this. People think this is kind of the official statement that BTS is leaving, or that this could even be one of their last concerts. I think BTS gets emotional with most concerts because they enjoy the time they spend there. The energy at the concert is crazy for us audience members even. Can you even imagine the high that they feel from being on the stage? And of course, when it's over, the emotion. There's so much. You can't help but cry. But also, BTS hasn't performed in a long time, and this was such a huge, monumental moment for BTS's history. It is definitely difficult not to get emotional. This doesn't necessarily mean that BTS is thinking thinking of leaving or this is their goodbye. But I want to say that there were a lot of theories as to BTS leaving and retiring, so I wanted to get into some others that are much crazier than this one, and I want to hear your thoughts. So right at the end of the concert, BTS's team had a trailer play on the big screen. It seemed like a normal trailer, but perhaps people were thinking this is weird to end the concert with, as this trailer could be better in the beginning of the concert because it was like a montage of BTS's career from their early work to now, and it was in black and white. So as you can imagine, this would be a great intro to the concert until you saw the end. There was a date that was exposed. It said June 10th. This was what everyone assumed was the comeback date, maybe a new album, and then later it was officially announced by HYBE that June 10th will be their comeback date. And this is where the theories come from. The trailer is in black and white, as I said, but why? And why was it a montage of their early work to now? So theories came up that the trailer for their comeback looked very much like an homage to their entire career, meaning the concept for their new album could be an homage, but why an homage or celebration of their career if it's still ongoing? So as you can imagine, thinking this becomes quite clear why everyone thinks that this is BTS's last album or possibly the last comeback. Other things that were factored in were things like BTS's TV show Run BTS was put on this hiatus, and sometimes hiatus can also mean it won't come back. Sometimes companies like to say hiatus because they don't want to burn that bridge, like if they definitively say it's over, then there's no coming back from that. But that is just a theory. Run BTS could very much still come back. Now, I don't personally know what to make of this. Do I think BTS is retiring after the new album? No, not really. So I will say this. It was recently announced that there will be a new law that doesn't exempt BTS from the military, but allows them to do only basic training, and then they'll be able to go back to their normal work. So they'll only serve for 4 weeks compared to 2 years. However, this law hasn't officially passed yet, but the fact that it was created, and also the fact that the BTS law, the first one that allowed for the postponement of the service, the fact that that was passed shows that everyone in Korean parliament is not against the idea that BTS should be exempt or get only 4 weeks. And if BTS gets this shortened service, I don't know what to call it, I don't imagine that BTS would retire right after. The trailer could be an homage and in black and white to show that their new work is going to be a smash of all their old work, or it could have been a trailer of their old work, and it doesn't mean anything more than that. Unfortunately, we won't know until June hits, or actually until the end of April when the government officially makes their statement as to what will happen to BTS, and if they will get 4 weeks or 2 years. Since BTS doesn't even know what their military status is, I can't imagine their team would just plan for it or plan against it. HYBE has never in the past, at least I don't think, actually announced a comeback date. I think it was always, we cannot confirm, and then maybe a few weeks before the comeback, if that, they'll say the new single drops this date. So they definitely have plans, meaning they're not too concerned over the enlistment or the possibility of leaving. But as you can tell, I can barely make too much sense of this or what it could mean. Maybe this is what they wanted. They wanted us to speculate and talk about it. I think with albums and comeback releases, the best thing an artist can do is to get people talking and speculate. So what do you think? Do you think this is BTS's last album and last comeback? Do you think the trailer, which is out on BTS's social media to watch, do you think the trailer is an homage? And do you think BTS will get their 4 weeks or 2 years enlistment? Heavy questions, I know. Let me know what you think. Make sure to check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thank you to this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.